Welcome to my channel. Let me ask you something powerful before we begin. What if the biggest reason you are still not fluent in English is not your grammar, not your vocabulary, not your accent, but simply because you are not speaking enough? Think about that for a moment. Many people spend years learning English. They read books, memorize vocabulary, study grammar rules, watch English videos every day, and listen carefully to native speakers. They work hard, they stay consistent. They truly want to improve. But when the moment comes to speak, they freeze. Their mind goes blank. Their heart beats faster. Simple words disappear. Confidence disappears. And they stay silent. If this has happened to you, then today's message is especially for you because today we are talking about one of the biggest secrets of English fluency. And that secret is simple. You must talk in English. Not only read English, not only listen to English, not only study grammar, you must speak. You must use your voice. Speaking is not the last step of learning English. Speaking is the main step. The more you talk, the faster your English grows. The more you speak, the more natural English becomes. And the more you practice, the closer you move toward fluency. Many learners believe fluency begins in books, but real fluency begins in conversation. English is not only something to understand, English is something to use. It is a skill, and every skill becomes stronger through practice. Think about learning to swim. Can you become a great swimmer by reading about swimming? No. You must get into the water. You must move. You must practice again and again. Speaking English works exactly the same way. You cannot become fluent by staying silent. You become fluent by speaking, even if your English is not perfect yet. This is one of the biggest truths in language learning. Fluency is not built inside a notebook. Fluency is built through your voice. At first, speaking may feel difficult. Your sentences may feel slow. You may stop in the middle. You may forget words. You may feel embarrassed. But that is normal. Every fluent speaker started exactly there. Nobody begins with perfect speaking. Nobody begins without mistakes. Growth starts with imperfect action, but many learners quit too early. They speak once or twice, feel uncomfortable, then go silent again. And silence becomes dangerous because silence stops progress. Silence keeps fear alive. Silence keeps English trapped inside the mind. But speaking changes everything. Every sentence you speak becomes practice. Every word becomes training. Every conversation becomes progress. Your brain learns language through repetition. Your mouth learns language through movement. Your confidence grows through action. When you say a sentence many times, your brain begins to remember it faster. Your mouth becomes more comfortable saying it. It becomes automatic. At first, even saying something simple like, "How are you?" might feel difficult, but after repeating it many times, you no longer stop to think. You simply say it naturally. That is how fluency grows, not in one magical moment, but in small daily conversations, one sentence at a time, one attempt at a time. Many people say, "I will speak English when I become fluent." But this idea is backwards. You do not speak because you are fluent. You become fluent because you speak. Speaking creates fluency. Speaking creates confidence. Speaking creates improvement. Imagine two learners. One studies grammar every day but never speaks. The other knows less grammar but speaks every day, even with mistakes. After a few months, who speaks better? The answer is clear. The learner who speaks daily becomes stronger faster because speaking builds real fluency. So, here is something powerful you can begin today. Speak English every single day, even if you are alone. Talk about your room, talk about your plans, talk about your day, talk about how you feel. Say simple things like, "I am sitting in my room. Today was busy. I feel tired. I want to improve my English." These may feel like small sentences, but they are powerful practice. Do not wait for perfect English. Use simple English, because fluency grows from use, not from perfection. At first, speaking may feel uncomfortable. You may feel shy, you may feel nervous, your voice may shake. Your speaking may feel slow. But if you continue, something beautiful begins to happen. Your brain becomes faster, your mouth becomes smoother, your fear becomes smaller, your confidence becomes stronger. And one day, without even noticing when it happened, you realize you are speaking without forcing yourself. You are expressing ideas naturally. You are enjoying English instead of fearing it. That is real fluency. That is the result of daily speaking. So, remember this powerful truth as we begin this journey together. You cannot build speaking by staying silent. You build speaking by speaking. Every sentence you say matters. Every mistake teaches you something. Every day you speak is one step closer to fluency and one step closer to becoming the confident English speaker you want to be. And this is only the beginning. Now, let's go deeper, because once you understand this next truth, your entire way of learning English can change. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to speak English fluently is not grammar, and it is not vocabulary. It is fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of forgetting words, fear of sounding wrong, fear of being judged by others, fear of not understanding what someone says back. This fear becomes invisible, but it feels like a wall inside the mind. And because of that wall, many learners stay silent for months or even years. They know many English words, they understand videos, they read sentences, they can even answer grammar exercises correctly. But when the moment comes to open their mouth and speak, everything disappears. Their mind becomes blank, their confidence disappears, their voice becomes quiet. If this feels familiar, you are not alone. This happens to millions of learners. But here is the truth that changes everything. Fear becomes smaller only when you face it. Fear does not disappear while you wait. Fear does not disappear while you stay silent. Fear becomes weaker when you speak through it. Think of someone afraid of water. If they stand far away and only look at the water, the fear stays strong. But if they slowly step into it again and again, the fear begins to fade. English speaking works the same way. Every time you speak, your brain learns something important. It learns that speaking is safe. It learns that making mistakes is survivable. It learns that communication is possible. And slowly, confidence begins to replace fear. Many learners make the mistake of waiting to feel ready before speaking. They say, "I'll speak when I feel confident." But confidence rarely comes first. Speaking comes first. Confidence follows action. The first conversations may feel difficult. Your voice may shake. You may pause often. You may search for words. That is okay. That is not failure. That is growth happening in real time. Every fluent speaker once felt exactly like that. They did not begin with confidence. They built confidence through repetition. And the same is true for you. Speaking is not just language practice. Speaking is confidence practice. Every small conversation trains your courage. Every sentence makes you stronger. Even simple questions help. How are you? What are you doing? Where are you from? These may sound basic, but each one builds confidence when spoken aloud. And here is something important to remember. Most people are not judging you as much as you think they are. Many learners imagine everyone is listening closely to every mistake. But in reality, most people respect effort. Most people admire someone trying to learn another language. And even if someone does judge you, that opinion does not control your future. Your growth matters more than someone's reaction. Never let fear decide when your voice can be heard. Your voice matters. Your ideas matter. Your progress matters. Now, let's talk about something many learners forget. Speaking English is not only mental, it is also physical. Your brain learns words, but your mouth must learn them too. Many people think if they memorize grammar and vocabulary, speaking will automatically happen. But speaking also requires movement. Your mouth, tongue, lips, and voice must become familiar with English sounds. That is why sometimes you know exactly what you want to say, but your mouth feels slow or blocked when you try to say it. Your brain understands, but your mouth is still learning, and that is completely normal. Speaking is like training a muscle. If you never use it, it stays weak. But if you use it every day, it becomes stronger. The more you speak, the more natural English feels in your mouth. The sounds become easier. Pronunciation becomes smoother. Words begin to flow with less effort. Think about repeating simple phrases like, I'm learning English, I feel happy today, or I want to improve. The first few times may feel slow, but after saying them again and again, they become easier. Your mouth remembers, your tongue adapts, your voice becomes more confident. This is how speaking develops not through silence, but through repetition. Reading silently helps your understanding. Listening improves comprehension, but speaking out loud builds physical fluency. That is why talking to yourself can be powerful practice. Describe what you see around you. Talk about your day. Talk about your plans for tomorrow. Say what you feel in the moment. I am drinking tea. I'm sitting near the window. Today I feel tired but motivated. Simple sentences. Powerful training. Another great practice is reading out loud. Take a short paragraph and read it slowly. Focus on pronunciation, focus on rhythm. Hear your own voice. Let your mouth become comfortable with English sounds. Another powerful method is listening and repeating. Hear one sentence from a video, then say it exactly the same way. Copy the pronunciation, copy the rhythm, copy the speed. This trains your ears and your mouth together. It feels small, but it creates huge improvement over time. Imagine two learners. One studies silently every day, but never speaks. The other speaks every day, even with simple sentences and mistakes. After some time, who sounds more natural? Who feels more comfortable speaking? Who grows faster? The answer is clear. Because speaking improves through speaking. Your brain learns English, yes, but your mouth must learn English too. So train both. Use your voice. Practice daily, even if it feels awkward in the beginning, even if your pronunciation is not perfect, even if you make mistakes. Keep going, because every sentence strengthens your fluency. Every repetition makes speaking easier. Every day of practice moves you forward. And slowly, English stops feeling impossible. It begins to feel natural, real, and alive inside you. Now, let's continue with something that changes everything once you experience it for yourself. One of the biggest differences between beginners and fluent English speakers is speed. Fluent speakers do not always know more words than everyone else. They are not always perfect with grammar, but they can think faster in English. Their thoughts connect to words quickly. Their responses come naturally. Their brain reacts without long pauses. Many learners understand English very well when reading or listening, but when someone asks them a question in real conversation, they suddenly need too much time to answer. Their brain begins translating everything. First, they hear the English sentence. Then they translate it into their native language. Then they think of an answer. Then they translate the answer back into English. Then they try to speak. This takes time, and because it takes time, conversations feel stressful. But daily speaking practice changes this. The more you talk in English, the less your brain depends on translation. Slowly, your brain begins connecting thoughts directly to English. This is where real fluency begins. Just like in your own language, you stop translating and start responding naturally. At first, your brain may feel tired while speaking. You may stop often. You may search for vocabulary. You may feel pressure. But this is your brain building a new habit. Every conversation becomes training. Every sentence makes your thinking faster. When someone asks, "How was your day?" At first, you may pause for a long time. But after answering that question many times, your response becomes quick and natural. It was good. It was busy. I worked all day. I stayed home and practiced English. That speed comes from repetition, and speed creates confidence. When your brain responds faster, fear becomes smaller. You stop overthinking every sentence. You stop trying to make everything perfect. You start communicating. That is the goal. Real conversations move quickly. People do not pause while we build perfect grammar in our head. So daily speaking trains your mind to react naturally. A simple but powerful practice is asking yourself questions out loud and answering immediately. Ask yourself, "What am I doing right now?" Then answer. Ask, "How do I feel today?" Then answer. Ask, "What do I want tomorrow?" Then answer. This helps train fast thinking in English. Another great method is choosing one topic and speaking about it for 1 minute without stopping too much. It does not need to be perfect. Just keep talking. This pushes your brain to create English faster and faster. And over time, something amazing happens. Your thoughts begin arriving in English more naturally. You feel less blocked. You feel more free. Now, Let's talk about pronunciation, because this matters deeply for confidence too. Many learners want clear pronunciation, but they stay silent because they are afraid their pronunciation is wrong. This becomes a trap. Pronunciation cannot improve through silence. Pronunciation improves through speaking. You must hear words, repeat them, and use them again and again. Just like a singer improves by singing, not by reading lyrics, your pronunciation improves by speaking, not by staying quiet. At first, many English sounds feel strange. Some words feel uncomfortable in your mouth. Some sounds may not exist in your native language. That is completely normal. Every learner experiences this. But the answer is not silence. The answer is repetition. Every time you repeat a word, your mouth becomes more familiar with it. Your tongue learns the movement. Your lips learn the shape. Your voice becomes clearer. A word that feels difficult today can feel easy after repeating it many times. That is how pronunciation grows. Not through perfection, but through practice. Listening and repeating is especially powerful. Listen to a sentence from a speaker you like. Then repeat it exactly. Match the rhythm, match the stress, match the sound. For example, I want to improve my English. Say it again. Repeat it several times. Let your ears and voice work together. This trains pronunciation naturally. Reading out loud also helps. Take a short story or paragraph and read slowly and clearly every day. Focus on sound, not speed. Hear your own voice. Get comfortable with it. Recording yourself can also help. It may feel strange at first, but it allows you to hear your progress and notice what sounds unclear. Over time, your pronunciation improves step by step. But remember this important truth. Your goal is not to sound perfect. Your goal is to be understood clearly. Communication matters more than perfection. If people understand your message, your English is working. And with daily speaking, pronunciation naturally becomes smoother. Now let's talk about memory, because many learners say the same thing. I study words, but I forget them. This is frustrating, but there is a reason. Your brain remembers better when you use language actively. Reading helps recognition. Listening helps understanding. But speaking helps ownership. When you speak a word, it becomes yours. For example, if you learn the word confident and only read it once, you may forget it. But if you say, I feel confident today, I want to become more confident, she sounds confident, then your brain connects the word to real meaning and real experience. That makes it easier to remember. Talking transforms passive knowledge into active knowledge. That is why speaking is so powerful for memory. When you speak, your brain recalls vocabulary, chooses grammar, builds meaning, controls pronunciation, and expresses ideas all at once. This creates strong memory connections. Words stay longer because you use them in real life. Whenever you learn a new word, use it immediately in a sentence about yourself. This creates deeper memory. The more you use English actively, the less you forget. And slowly, words begin coming to your mind faster. Sentences feel easier. Speaking becomes smoother. This is the result of daily use. Your brain remembers what your mouth uses. So do not only study English, speak it, use it, repeat it, live it. Because every sentence you say strengthens your memory, improves your speaking, and brings you closer to fluency. Now we come to the most powerful part of this journey, because speaking English does more than improve your vocabulary, your pronunciation, or your fluency. Speaking changes how you feel about yourself. It changes your confidence in real life. Many people think confidence comes first. They believe, when I become confident, then I will speak English. But real confidence does not work like that. Confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you build through action. Every time you speak English, even with mistakes, even with nervousness, even with hesitation, you are building confidence. At the beginning, almost everyone feels afraid. Your heart beats faster. Your thoughts feel messy. You worry about pronunciation. You worry about grammar. You worry about what people might think. But every time you speak anyway, your brain learns something powerful. It learns, I can do this. It learns, I survived this conversation. It learns, speaking English is possible for me. And slowly, fear begins shrinking while confidence begins growing. Real confidence is not speaking loudly. Real confidence is feeling comfortable expressing yourself. You do not need perfect grammar to be confident. You do not need a perfect accent. You do not need advanced vocabulary. You only need the courage to keep using your voice. Many learners stay trapped because they wait too long. They keep studying and preparing, hoping one day they will feel ready. But readiness often arrives after action, not before it. The more you speak, the more normal speaking becomes. The more normal speaking becomes, the more confident you feel. And confidence changes everything, not only in English, but in life. It helps in conversations, interviews, work, travel, friendships, and opportunities you once avoided. Another important truth is that mistakes are not the enemy. Mistakes are part of growth. Many learners fear mistakes so much that they stop speaking completely. But mistakes are how learning happens. Every fluent speaker made thousands of mistakes. Wrong grammar, wrong pronunciation, wrong vocabulary, confusing sentences. But they improved because they kept speaking through those mistakes. Think about a child learning to walk. The child falls again and again, but keeps trying. And because of that, walking becomes natural. English speaking works exactly the same way. You improve by doing, not by waiting. When you make a mistake while speaking, your brain notices it. Your brain learns from it. Your brain adjusts for next time. But if you stay silent, that learning never happens. Silence feels safe, but silence slows growth. Speaking may feel uncomfortable, but speaking creates progress. So when you make a mistake, do not say, "My English is bad." Say, "I'm learning." That small change in mindset can completely change your confidence. If you notice a mistake while speaking, correct it calmly and continue. Do not stop the whole conversation. Keep moving forward. Communication matters more than perfection. Now, let's talk about something beautiful that happens over time. Talking makes English feel natural. In the beginning, English may feel strange. You think too much, you translate too much, you check every sentence in your head before speaking. It feels like schoolwork. It feels separate from your real life. But daily speaking changes that. The more you speak English in real situations, the more familiar it becomes. Your brain stops treating it like a difficult subject and starts treating it like communication. Simple sentences become automatic. Common questions become easy. Everyday thoughts begin appearing in English without effort. You stop translating every word. You begin thinking directly in English, and that is a powerful moment. English starts becoming part of your daily life instead of something outside of it. Use English in small moments. Talk while walking. Talk while cooking. Talk while sitting alone. Describe what you see. Describe how you feel. Describe what you plan to do tomorrow. I am drinking water. The weather feels nice. I am tired but happy today. These small habits slowly train your brain to live with English naturally. And one day, you notice something amazing. English no longer feels foreign. It feels familiar. It feels comfortable. It feels like part of you. And this leads to the final truth: talking changes your identity. At first, you feel like someone learning English, someone trying, someone practicing, someone nervous. But when you speak every day, that identity begins to shift. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is only learning English. You begin seeing yourself as someone who speaks English. That change is powerful because identity shapes behavior. If you believe, "I cannot speak English," you stay silent. But when you begin believing, "I am someone who speaks English," your actions change. Your confidence changes. Your fluency grows faster. Your voice becomes stronger. The more you talk, the more English becomes part of who you are. And once English becomes part of your identity, progress feels more natural and more exciting. So, before you leave, remember one simple truth. English fluency is not built by staying silent, it is built by talking. Even small sentences matter. Even slow speaking matters. Even imperfect English matters. Because every time you speak, your fear becomes smaller, your confidence becomes stronger, your memory becomes sharper, your pronunciation becomes clearer, and your fluency becomes better. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start today. Speak a little every day. Talk to yourself. Talk to people. Read out loud. Ask yourself questions. Use your voice without fear, because your voice is the key to your fluency. And if this message helped you see English in a new way, don't keep it only to yourself. Share it with someone else who wants to improve their English too. And if you want more lessons that help you speak with confidence and enjoy the learning journey, stay connected, keep practicing, and keep moving forward with us. We are not here to study English forever. We are here to speak it confidently. Keep talking, keep growing, keep believing in yourself, and I will see you in the next video.